thing's fun to use. That's just like having a sawmill in your hands. John Walton would definitely have wanted one of those. Alright guys, it's been a few days since we've done a video here. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen that it's been raining a lot here in Tennessee. We got to saw the first of the week, and I've not sawed since then. I did get the kiln loaded this week, and I'm going to be cutting that on this weekend. I'll bring you guys out there before this video's over and show you what's going on in the kiln. I'm out here this morning just pretty much cleaning up the wood shop. This place is a disaster. I've not been in here very much at all in the past few weeks because of all the sawmilling that's been going on. And it got pretty dirty. It's pretty out of hand. It's amazing how fast it's shopped and turned into chaos when you don't put your tools away or you just neglect it for a few weeks. There's stuff laying everywhere in here. And the lighting kind of sucks in here for videos when I try to do selfies like this because these old fluorescent lights don't do the best at all. They kind of glare into the camera here and doesn't show up very well. But anyways guys, this is what's going on today. Out here at the shop this morning just doing some cleaning. I got an old church pew that we used to have in the house. I'm going to be moving out here later today hopefully if I get some stuff moved around. I got to run to Home Depot and get some supplies. Stopped by another place that's having some free lunch today and grabbed me a free barbecue sandwich with a buddy of mine. And after that's over with, I got to head across town up to Fred's shop. The Blazing Nail Gun, or Redneck DIY. You guys know him on YouTube. If you guys not heard about him, I'll leave a link down below to his channel. I've showed him a lot of times in some of my videos, and he's done the same thing on his channel. And the reason I'm going up there is because I got a small sample of wood over here. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's actually behind me. I'll bring the camera in to show you guys. I got a potential customer in California that Fred already has a good relationship with. It's wanting to see some of our wood that we have out here. So I'm going to send him some white oak, some maple, and some walnut. I think some poplar as well, and give him an idea of what we got out here. So that's what's going on today guys. And I've also got a brand new tool here for the sawmill, and weather permitting we'll try to get that thing out today and do a test run. And judging by looking out the window, it's pretty nice right now, but it's not going to last very long at all. Scattered thunderstorms throughout the afternoon. It was raining up until I hit the record button, and now it's nice outside. But we'll still make the best of the day. And I'll take you guys along with me here today and see what we get done. So this is just a nice little sample pack of lumber we'll be shipping out to California. Got some good live edge 8/4 walnut on top. At the very bottom there's some maple, some poplar, a little bit of pine, and a lot of quarter sawn white oak as well. Just trying to show him what we specialize in out here and what we do best, which is walnut and quarter sawn oak. In case you guys are wondering, underneath that stack is the live edge table I built a few weeks ago. Now, that table has been sold. I got to build 2 matching coffee tables to go with it before I deliver it to the customer. Nice stack of sample boards there. So let's go grab a sandwich, run to Home Depot, and go by Fred's and see what he's into. Alright, so I'm running behind here as usual. It's already 12 o'clock and lunch took a lot longer than I thought it would. Didn't even make it by Home Depot yet. So right now I'm going to run across town to Fred's shop and drop off that wood. And I'm going to take the drone with me. If the weather's cooperating, we'll fly it a little bit as well. It looks like the rain may stop for a while. And after that's over, I'm going to run to the school and pick up Bruno about 2:30, come back here and try to get the kiln running. And if the weather's still cooperating, we'll get that new tool I talked about out and get it going and see how it works. So, always running behind here, never fails. Well, I just talked to Fred a few seconds ago on the phone. It looks like he's not at the shop right now, so it looks like we'll be trying out this tool before we pick up Bruno from school. So the schedule's completely changed once again. We'll get this new tool out of the box right here behind me and try it out for the first time. Then we'll pick up Bruno from school, then head over to Fred's shop and drop off this wood. Alright guys, get out of the truck here. Well, here it is guys. The newest tool here for the sawmill. It's made by Skil Saw. It's a worm-driven saw. This thing is a beast. I've been looking forward to getting this thing for a few weeks now. Really looking forward to giving this thing a test drive. This is a massive saw. Let's get out of the box here and see what we're dealing with. My goodness. Well, that is a saw. That is ridiculous. Look at the size of that thing. This is a massive saw. Man. Looks like it's got its own carrying case that sits down into like a holster for it. Let's get this thing out and take a better look at it. Alright guys, what we're looking at here is a very large Skil saw. If you're like me, your dad and your papa used Skil saws growing up whenever they had to build something around the house. Dad had two of these bad boys, not this size by no means, just the original worm-driven saws. And man, this thing is massive. It's got a real nice plastic holster here it came in for storage. It's got the little Skil Saw emblem on here on the bottom, established in 1924. I did not know that. And this is a worm-driven saw, and the specifications are it's 15 amps. The blade is right there printed on it, the size of it, 16 inches and 5/16 on the diameter of this blade. And this thing will cut at a depth of 6 1/4 inches. This thing's going to come in handy. If you guys that follow Jim over in the Tradesman's channel, he got one of these a few weeks ago, and that kind of caught my eye actually about them. And we got it here a few days ago delivered to the sawmill. This is a nice saw. This thing's going to come in handy cutting these large slabs to length and large beams. So here's the back of the saw, as you can see. Got a small reservoir right there for oil. I'm sure that's probably already been filled up. I want to check and make sure. And here's the power plant of the saw right here, the worm-driven 15 amp motor. It's also got, just now notice this, a nice little dust collection port right there on the top. You could probably hook that up to a shop vac, or maybe even my Festool may fit to that, I'm not sure. Or probably easier just to dump it out on the ground. But it's pretty interesting right there, a little dust collection system coming out the top. Everything else resembles the same characteristics that you would see on a circle saw. Looks like the base of it tilts to different angles. You can also adjust the depth on the back here. So all the features of a regular saw with the added ability to cut 6 1/4 inches deep. I got a 4, maybe it's a 5-inch thick cedar beam I need to cut to length before I put in the kiln. So let's take this thing over to the kiln and give it a test drive and see how it does. Hope this comes through the camera. As you guys can see, it's a really smooth finish here it leaves on the cut. So not only are we able to cut these thick timbers now in one pass, but it leaves a nice actual finish here on the end grain. That's pretty good actually for a saw of that size and for a saw period. That's nice. Looks like it's getting ready to start pouring on us here. Well guys, that saw performs really well. That thing's fun to use right there. Really looking forward to using that saw more. Got a lot of rain moving in, it looks like, as usual. Never fails here. It seems like it rains every other day here in Tennessee this year. So I'm going to load up Bruno and ride across town and drop off that wood to Fred and get this saw out of the rain, and there's the thunder. We'll be seeing a lot more of that saw in future videos, guys. That Sawsquatch is going to be very detrimental in a future build I'm planning here on this concrete slab right here beside the kiln where this lumber's stacked at. That's going to be a build we're starting next month, and more on that later, but the Sawsquatch is going to have a real important part in building that building. So let's put these tools up here before we get struck by lightning, run over to Fred's and drop off that wood.
Mama's is sick.
Yeah.
No, Mom, it's not sick. It's gone.
It's gone. Hey Bruno, you ready to go?
Yeah.
Let's go.
We're going for Mama's house.
No, we're not going to Mama's house. We're going to Mama's house on Sunday, okay?
It's sick.
Sick? Are you sick?
Mama's is sick.
Mama's sick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mama's not home.
Mama is not home, okay. We're going to Mama's Sunday, okay?
Women, they say some crazy ass things. I will, and I do, and you can keep this damned old ring. Over time, words lose their sting. Until I die, love just won't taste the same. The kids grew up, while I was chasing my dreams. I saw sights with my eyes that most people don't see. From time to time, I would hold that ring and think about sights I wish I'd seen. There's only one trip down the line,